Hello, and welcome to A Stone's Throw, a weekly discussion about songwriting by songwriters. If you're a songwriter, you're going to be enamored by some of the tips and tricks you'll pick up from these in-depth discussions here on A Stone's Throw. Today's show features international songwriter and master guitarist Diego Mar, who is currently hiding out deep in the mountains on some island somewhere in the Caribbean. And now, here's your host for A Stone's Throw, Emmy Award-winning professional broadcaster and author of hundreds of songs, commercial jingles, and many, many books, Al Stone.
Thanks, Carol, and welcome to all of you listening to this edition of A Stone's Throw. I'm really excited about our guest today, partly because he's one of the most creative and masterful guitarists I've ever known and worked with, but also because he brings to the table the clearest, most easy-to-understand approach to songwriting I have ever encountered in my years in the music business. Ladies and gentlemen, Diego Mar.
I can't do this. I haven't had coffee yet.
Well, let's jump right in, Diego. First, today I want to feature your song Constantly, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
Now, I have a lot of questions about this song, but first of all, let me confess that I really, really like it. I really like this song.
Great.
But I've listened to this song a lot in my car on the way to recording sessions and often several times in the same trip. You know, Diego, this is really a Beatles song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could have been written by McCartney. It's just one of those songs that grabs you from the very first beat.
Al, that makes me feel great. You know, I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Again, for the listeners, we're going to start today's show talking about Diego's new song, Constantly. So first, let's take a listen. Oh, and by the way, to get this song for today's show, I just went to iTunes and downloaded it. Now here's Diego Mar with his original song, Constantly. And afterwards, we'll talk about it.
I haven't slept a wink, that is true, since I met you. I've been like this from the start. What can I do? I think of you constantly. I never loved like this before. C'est toi qui j'adore. I can't wait to see you again. What can I do? I think of you constantly. Ooh, and I dare to touch your hair. Ooh, the way you move and what you wear. I can't wait another day, yeah. Ooh, without my love, I won't stay. All my friends say I've gone and lost my mind. What can I do? I think of you constantly. What can I do? I think of you constantly. Yeah.
That is fun. You're listening to A Stone's Throw on the King Media Radio Network, and our guest today is songwriter Diego Mar. Oh, if you want to, you can just go to diegomar809.com and listen to his new song Constantly, free. In case you just joined us, we're going to analyze Diego's new song that you just heard. It's entitled Constantly. And my first question is, how did you even come up with the idea? How do you even start writing this song? It even has a French line in it, just like McCartney does.
Okay, so you really did listen to the song. That's great.
Yes, and I listened to it more than once. Can I tell you what I do?
Yeah, sure.
Well, the first time I listen to a new song, I try to forget that I'm a music producer. I just try to imagine I'm a regular person on the street and that I listen to the song as a whole song. That is, I don't try to pick it apart. I don't think about the instrumentation or the orchestration or the chord changes or anything technical. I just want to hear the song in a general way, just as a consumer would. Now, don't you do that?
Yes, that's exactly my process as well. But wait a minute. I wanted to talk about what you said. That is coming up with the original idea. I wanted to explain something that happens when you write a song. I want to explain how this idea came about. And for me, this is a big deal. So I want to jump at the chance to talk about it.
Yes, perfect.
Well, you just cannot sit down and write a hit song. It doesn't work that way. You have to wait.
Okay, we're waiting. What are we waiting for?
A bolt of lightning. Oh, yeah. A bolt of lightning. It comes down out of heaven and hits you like a ton of fish.
Uh-huh.
And that's the kernel.
The kernel.
The kernel.
The kernel.
Yes, and let me explain. The kernel is something that just hits you. It's just something that occurs to you. That you don't sit down and purposely think this up.
Uh-huh.
So this is just something that happens to you. You don't plan this. And for sure, it happens at the most inopportune time. I mean, this could happen to you right in the middle of your bowling tournament. It's just it just happens to you, and you can't control this. Now, let me give you another example. Now, let's say you're on the bus. Now, in my case, I'm in the Dominican Republic, so invariably you run the risk of having to sit on the fat lady's lap.
Okay.
Or between the fat lady and the chicken. Okay, and all of a sudden you get this idea, and bam, it's a great idea. That's the kernel. And so you got to do something about this. This is what you hear, what occurs to you, that's the kernel, is just awesome. And you have to remember this. You can't lose this. You have to archive this kernel. Now, what a lot of people do is they call themselves on the phone and sing into the phone, on your answering machine. Okay, what I do is I set my phone up on the edge of the bed and I record a video. I sing the kernel in the video. So you're on the bus and you have this occurrence, this thing that happens to you. And you're just enthralled. You're just thrilled with this kernel.
Okay.
The beginning of this song. And so you're all consumed by this. You have to realize that you have entered the zone.
The zone.
The zone. This is a creative state where nothing else matters. Okay, you receive this bolt of lightning, this idea that just came out of nowhere. Yeah, how did this happen? Well, you don't know and you don't care. You just have to remember this. This is such a moment that you can't lose this.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back after this short break. You're listening to the King Media Radio Network. This is A Stone's Throw, and I'm Al Stone.
Hi, I'm Morton Chesterfield, and I'd like to talk to you about your seeds. For a hearty harvest and maximum yield, switch over to the superior seed. Plant nothing but the best. Purchase your spaghetti seeds from the Indiana Growers Call. Just ask Ruth Cummings. Ruth?
Oh, they're great seeds. Every spaghetti strand is as straight as a fish. You just have to make sure you don't give them too much water.
Why, don't they grow well?
Oh no, they turn into linguine.
You're listening to the King Media Radio Network. This is A Stone's Throw, and I'm Al Stone. We're talking with Diego Marr. The subject is songwriting, songwriters talking about songwriting. Okay, Diego, before the break, I was asking you, what is the kernel for constantly?
Well, for constantly, it was easy because I just broke into Paul McCartney's house and went in his attic and stole the song. Okay, so for constantly, the way that came about is the idea came all at once. The part of the song that contains the word constantly just came with the chords and the phrasing and the words and everything. The whole section just presented itself, and bam, there it was.
So you're completely serious about this process, this methodology, aren't you?
Yes, serious about the mythology.
No. Methodology.
Yes, I'm serious about the mythology. Okay, so what I want to say is here comes the tricky part. Now, after you've discovered the kernel, don't ruin it. You have to save this kernel. You have to archive it. So why is that? Well, because you could lose it. You could stray from the original idea. You know, you make a change, and then because of that change, you have to alter this other thing over here, and then another little change, and pretty soon you're lost. You just say to yourself, well, maybe it wasn't such a great idea after all. And you've really lost sight of what really made the kernel great. Or maybe you say, well, I'll just come back to this later. And you know, you may have many of these songs that you start and you have in mind coming back to them later. This is going to solve that problem. That's why you have to archive the kernel. You have to save it in its original form, the same way it was conceived. Okay, so later on, you're working with the song and just doesn't seem to be coming together, and you've made these changes. So how do you keep that initial exuberance?
So you go back and get on the bus again?
Well, so you have your archive, so you just retrieve it, and when you listen to it, wow, this is a great song. You see, now you're like back in the zone.
The zone.
The zone.
The zone.
Yes, the zone. So whatever qualities the kernel had, that tugs at the emotions and what makes it so good, come back. So you're back. Yeah, and so you feel the same way you did when you were on the bus. So this is really an important point. This should be a law. So the law would go like always archive the kernel. Okay, and Al, could you just say that in your announcer voice and make like a menacing, authoritative, accusative pronouncement? So just say that with your announcer voice. Just say, you must archive the kernel. Just say that.
You must archive the kernel.
Oh, that's going to work out great. You know, what we should do is we should make these like Diego's commandments, okay? So this is the first commandment, Diego's first commandment.
I think we've really got something here.
Yes, we do. So the process for writing the next part is the same process that we use to write the rest of the song.
We were talking about the kernel. So what's next?
Well, this is the secret sauce.
The secret sauce.
Now, I'm very passionate about this, the discovery of this. So, by the way, only humans can do this. If you're not a human, don't even try this.
Only humans. Only humans?
Yeah.
Well, you sort of qualify for that, don't you? Okay, Diego. Now, can you come back next time?
Yeah, sure.
Diego, before you go, where can we go to hear your work?
You just go to diegomar809.com.
And what if I want to download it?
Well, you just go to your favorite website for downloading music and do a search for Diego Mar. And the songs will be on all the major websites for downloading music. Or if you're already on diegomar809.com, you'll find a download button there or link where it will take you to one of those sites.
So thanks again to our special guest, Diego Mar.
Thanks, Al.
Oh, and on our next show, can you reveal to us about your secret sauce?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
You've been listening to A Stone's Throw on the King Media Radio Network. Tell your friends about our show. Be sure to like us and leave a comment or two. Have a great week from all of us here at King Media.
Yeah.
This is Sammy, the janitor here at Stone Music at King Media Services. I think Mr. Stone just dropped dead in the wastebasket.
Okay.
Can I do his parts? I love to be on the radio.
Yeah, who am I speaking with?
This is Sam, the janitor.
Sam the janitor.
Yes, that's me. As you can probably tell, I'm not a Caucasian.
Okay, can we do this?
Yes, anytime.
Okay.
Sound effect, please. Sound effect.
All right, here I go.
Sound effect.
Okay, all right. Okay, tape's rolling. Okay, this next one is a phone call, so I'll just record my cell phone, the ringer on my cell phone, so that it'll sound like a real call. Okay, ring.
What do you want?
I just had a brainstorm. Hit me like a ton of fish.
Leave me alone.
Okay, well, here it is. We do the interview over the phone, just like we planned, but you send me your MP3.
Lobo, what's up?
I'm thinking about some ice cream. The next one is, next excerpt is record the word. Okay, so I need you to record the word methodology. Okay, because I have something in mind for that. So
Are you rolling?
So I need for you to record the word methodology, and I think you may have had a paragraph with that in it. Do you remember what you said?
No. You need the paragraph or you need the word?
I need it to be a smooth transition, so I need a paragraph.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, where is it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
I gotta
about.
find it.
Oh, I
Hang
know.
on.
Diego says. Absolutely.
Hang on. paying me to say one word, now I got to read a paragraph. I don't know.
You just need to use the word methodology in a phrase, in a sentence. Trust me on this.
I'm looking for where it is in the script.
Just make something up. Just use the word methodology.
So, Lovell, tell me, what is your methodology?
Thank you. You know, you can say the law with a big announcer voice. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Attempt to write a song unless you're in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Okay. So now, what do we call these laws? I want the laws to be menacing and judgmental and authoritative and, you know.
Ray of Death Law.
Yeah. Okay.
The B flat 7th.
So
Ray of Death Law.
All right. So I guess it could be. I mean, they could be Diego's law. It's Diego's law, maybe.
Diego's Law.
You like that?
Never attempt to write a song unless you're in the zone.
All right. So here's what we'll do. We'll have them numbered. We'll have like 12 laws or 12 commandments or something. The 12 laws.
Diego's 12 Commandments.
Oh, I
Would
like
you roll
that.
tape, please? We're missing all this good shit for me.
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Okay. So we can say the next commandment. So this commandment states, this law states, and then you say the law. Okay. You like that?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.